friends, this is Bree coming to you from Umami Gourmet Coffee and Exotic Tea, and I wanted to switch things up a little bit different for you today. I think this is the first time that I am filming from this section, and this is our accessory section and our coffee section. We have two coffee grinders here because one is for the regular coffee and we have another one for the flavored coffee. But that's not what I'm going to talk about today. What I want to talk about is I want to let you know some different ways that you can steep your tea. Now, as you probably know, we deal in 99% loose tea, loose leaf tea, which means when you get your tea bag, you have to have something to steep it in. Or, as one of my customers said, something that the tea won't get in your teeth. Okay, I still don't understand how that happens, but okay, we're gonna go through. And what we call these tea makers or infusers, it's not a diffuser, that's something different. It's called an infuser because you have to steep your tea in there and you infuse it to get all of the flavor and all from the tea. So let me just say, I am drinking maple nut brittle, and I did put some honey down in there, and the honey is it didn't dissolve yet, so I want to wait a minute because I don't need a big chunk of honey in my mouth. But I made a hot pot of maple nut brittle this morning, and this is my maple nut brittle ice for my afternoon tea. And the honey with the maple, and then I have that nuttiness in there. This is really good. I'm gonna put a picture up of the maple nut brittle. That's one of our, I would say it's a fall winter tea just because of the nuts and the maple and all that's in there, but it is really delicious. But let's get to these infusers. So this is my accessory section, and we have all different types of infusers. If you want to know anything about an infuser or what's the best kind to use, how do I use it, I am here for you to let you know about that. And I've just pulled out some different infusers, and I will place all of the pictures up so that you can see what I mean, a close-up. They'll also, of course, they're available on my website to help you out so that you can look at it. And guess what? All of the links will be down below. I had to look to see if I was recording. Okay, anyway. So we start at the top, and once you get, this is what I've learned. Once you choose your tea, to me, choosing your tea is a type of personality also. Whether you like the nuttiness, the sweetness, the strawberries, the florals, it's all your personality, your taste buds, and what you like. But I believe that the infusers are also a part of your personality. So for instance, this is a floating bloom tea infuser. Now, you may or may not like that. You may want a frog because you have, that's your character. Not your character. You like to have fun, you're playful, you would rather have a frog than a flower, not a flog. There's no such thing. Oh, maybe there is, but not in this tea shop. Okay, and even with the flowers, we have them in red, we have a violet, and we also have a yellow. So again, it's still your personality, what you prefer to use. Now this is really cute. This is a dog tea infuser with the little dog bone there. Now we're going to also talk about the right size tea infuser. So this type of tea infuser I would only recommend to use with 1 teaspoon of tea. Now why? Why, Bree? Why I can't make 2 cups of tea with this tea infuser? The reason why is because my tea leaves are very big, and with a tea, when you're brewing your tea, you want it to be able to open up. And I'm going to insert a picture so that you can see just the process that the tea goes through when it unfurls and opens up, so that you can just get all of the goodness from that tea leaf. Now, if you use more than 1 teaspoon in here, then that's not going to allow for the tea to open up properly and give you all of the flavors and nutrients that you would normally get from that tea. So this is a dog for our dog lovers, this one. And I had some cat ones, but I don't have any cat ones anymore. But this is for our dog lovers. See, again, with the personality, because this is an anchor for the tea lover who loves that. And then this is a pig. And this one is opens up a little more, allows the tea to open up a little more because it is front and back. And this one is a little, it gives you a little bit more room also in there. Have to pull things to the front because when they sell, sometimes I have to, you know, pull them to the front so that people can see what we have. Going with our second row, these are what we call a tea tong, and it's still with your personality. And this is what these are kind of made from, and it just opens up. You put your tea in there, and then you close it, and you can stir in your cup and all. But again, this one, I would only recommend 1 teaspoon because you need your teas to open up and to brew. And some of the teas, I don't even recommend to use this one. I think it's too small to allow those teas in there. And I have the tea tongue, but then I have the tea ball also. And with the tea ball, it's this particular one is the same size as that tea tongue. It's just, again, your preference. Do you want something that will, and this has a hook on it, so it will hang on the side of your teacup or your pot. But again, I would only recommend about 1 teaspoon in this particular tea. And some of the teas, like your oolongs and all, those leaves are too big to even put 1 teaspoon in there. But you know, we have everything that you're looking for. So I started off with the floating, these are called floating tea infusers. And this is another floater tea infuser, and this is a duck. Oops. And see how that looks? 1 teaspoon, that's all that's gonna do. Just 1 teaspoon. But it's so cute floating in your cup. And sometimes that's all you want. Take another sip here. Maple Nut Brittle. So good. That honey with those nuts, they're really playing well together. Now these tea infusers, I love these, and I have these in several different kinds. This has a cup, but it can sit down in your cup. You can put 2 or 3 teaspoons in here and you'll be fine because the cup allows enough room. I'm sorry, the infuser basket allows enough room for your leaves to open up and properly unfurl. And we have this in the bigger infuser, see that? And then we have it in the mesh infuser. I bet I have something that you didn't know. You know when you're using your tea bags and the string keeps falling down in your teacup, and you pick it back up and it falls down again, you pick it back. We don't have time for that, okay? So this is called the tea bag bunny. And what the tea bag buddy, What this does is when you put your tea bag in your water, you take that string, see how that opens up there? You take that string and you put in the middle of this, and then it closes back down and it holds your string. But guess what else it does? It also keeps your tea nice and warm, because this is a lid, and you can see that there. This is a lid, so it doubles off. Actually, it does a lot of things. It holds your string, it doubles as a lid. You can also take your tea and put in the middle of it and squeeze all those juices out. This is amazing. And you can also turn it over and it will hold your tea bag there. I love this thing. Okay, now this little thing, it's not little, but this standing tea infuser, you can put your tea inside of there. It has a cap on it. It also has a tray that will hold your tea infuser. And you can put your tea in there. You can stir your tea with it, let it brew, take it out, let the cup, the resting piece hold it. This is very convenient. Now we also have these little to-go lids, and say for instance you buy a cup from a store, or a tea mug, coffee mug from a store, and it doesn't have a lid on it, but that's okay because you are in love with this coffee cup. You have to have it. Of course, you know, if you put a lid on it, that helps to keep the heat or the cold inside of your beverage for a longer period of time. So we have these. They fit most standard coffee cups though, but I love these things because it doesn't matter if your lid breaks or whatever, and it keeps the heat in as well. Okay, so let's talk about these tea balls. So we here at Umami, we have 3 different size tea balls. And the first one I pulled out is the smallest one, and this one I would only recommend about 1 teaspoonful in this tea ball. And it depends on if your tea leaves are bigger like an oolong, then this is not going to work for you. I would recommend something else. But I do have the middle size. Now with this tea ball, this will accommodate 2 teaspoons of tea. And you can tell how big it is. Let me pull the other one out so that you can see the difference in these two. You see that it's almost double the size of that one. So it will allow your tea to open up, to unfurl, to give you all the good benefits and flavors that are in each tea. So, and then I have the big boy. Now the big boy, I usually advertise this one in the summertime, but this is also good for people who like to make pictures of tea. Because see how big that is? So this is the smallest, this is the biggest. See the difference in those 3? But this one will go in your pitcher, and it will hold, I keep putting this in front of my face, it will hold the right amount of tea for your pitcher or for a bigger pot of tea. But these are all the 3 different types of tea balls. And of course, I know, you know, I'm going to tell you my preference. Now, most people are very familiar with these tea balls, so they sell a lot because that's just what people are comfortable with. They're used to seeing it. Their mother used it. Their grandmother used it. This tea ball will never go out of style because it's just so, you know, it's very popular. But let me tell you what I prefer. My number 1 thing is a teapot, of course. You know me. You know I love to drink tea. I'm a little sophisticated. The teapots are so civilized. I love them. But when you're on the go or if you're at your desk, you can't do that. So So I prefer these. And the reason why I prefer these two different kinds is because regardless of what type of cup you have, you can put your tea in here and it'll sit in the cup. When you're ready to, when your tea has steeped, you can pull it up, you can cover it up, you can sit it there, let it drain. It has so many different tasks to this particular tea infuser. And I have these in, I think, 3 different sizes. So this is the small one, and then I have this one. Another reason why I like these tea infusers is because this one is a big boy. I have these in a lot of different sizes though. So if you get some of your older teapots, they may not have an infuser in them, and it may be your favorite teapot. You don't want to get rid of it, but you've moved on to loose leaf tea now. Now what are you gonna do? Well, look how big that is. I love this teapot. This is my favorite teapot. But this teapot does not come with an infuser. So if I had this particular infuser, then what I could do is set that down in there. It doesn't perfectly fit, but you get the picture. It goes down in there. I don't think, see, the problem is most of my teapots have infusers in there. I only have a couple that does not have, or that did not come with infusers, because I sell mostly loose leaf tea. So I would have a teapot with an infuser in it. But I just love these particular teapot sets, and that's why I chose to buy them without infusers. But you get the picture. You put this down in there, you put your tea in there, you put your hot water in there. Once your tea is steeped, you pull it out, you set it on the tray for later, because my teas you can re-steep. You set it on the tray for later. You drink down, I mean, you pour your cups, because of course you can't drink tea alone with this teapot. You pour your cups, you put your infuser basket down in there again. You put your more hot water in there, because you can have several steeps. You cover it up until, you know, talk to your friend. How are you doing? How are you doing? I'm doing good. Yes, I am too. Okay, let's have some more tea. Take your top off. Take your infuser basket out. Rest that. And there you go. Let's serve some more tea. Okay? So this is why I love these ones, because you can do so many things with them. And especially if you are a person who has several teapots, you can use this with a cup. I'm not gonna put this over my glass, but this will fit. I can also use this with my glass because the top is so big. Okay, so those are, I have these in several different sizes, but I will have the sizes and the information on my website. Okay, now this little basket I really love too, for the same reason. This, I have had many teapots with this. Even at my shop in Virginia, we ordered many of these because sometimes the basket would get or bent out of shape, or you know, something would go wrong with it. So I had these to put in the teapots, and if you look, see how that's in there? This is the same size, so it fits down in there perfectly. You can put the lid on and you have your replacement tea basket. And we use these at the shop all, I've been dropping stuff all day. We use these at the shop all the time because they're universal and they fit most teapots. This particular infuser, I love this. It can sit on any cup, and it has the infuser basket. It has the holes inside of it. Now, this worked great back in the day. I think when the queen was having her tea. But anyway, the reason, I'm gonna take that out. But how this works is the teapot that I just showed you. Say for instance, you wanted to fill this up with tea and put your tea leaves down in your tea to make sure that it gets in there. Now this has, I don't think you can see it. Oh, there you go. It has little holes in there, so it's gonna sift the tea out anyway. It's gonna hold it back. It's not gonna allow the big particles to get in your tea. So what this does, this also has holes in it. So what it does is when you're pouring, you would lay this over your cup and pour so that it will, you have your sifter or your strainer in the inside with the big holes, but you also have this on the outside with the smaller holes. So with your small cups, you would just pour this into your cup, and it would make sure that none of the tea leaves got inside of your cup. It works. It's a really great one for that if you don't have a pot with an infuser. But also, you know, like an oolong, with this particular size pot, it would be perfect, okay? Because it allows the tea leaves to unfurl. It's just a beautiful thing. You don't want to put it in a ball or a basket or whatever because you want your tea leaves to be free. Then this is perfect for that particular situation. We also have these infuser mugs. So the mug comes with the lid, comes with a big old infuser in there. And this one, the one that I just took out of the box, would also fit perfectly. So you see how wide that mouth is, and it would fit right in there. Thank you for watching. That has been my very long, I thought this was going to be a short video, longer than I anticipated, video on how to properly use when you're brewing your loose leaf tea. And this, as I'm looking around, it's going to be in several parts because you know this ain't all I have to brew tea with. I have teapots, I have tea makers, I have pitchers, I have teacups, I have on-the-go cups. I got a lot of stuff, y'all. I got a lot of stuff. So thank you for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.